Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a Cardi B wearing Stefon D's clothes and recorded him as he works out. She is a hype woman. So it's short
That's right,
video.
boy. Mm-hmm. You can do it, boy. Uh-huh. 7 more. You got it. That's right.
So we just gonna watch this man be glistening,
One more, one more, one
okay,
more,
we
one
get
more,
the
one more.
point.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so basically Cardi B hyping up they man. And the comments, the women in the comments, they was going crazy, like, yes, good, hype up your man, hype up your man. And that just showed me how lost women are. Because if you a dude, bro, when you doing work, you do not want your woman there. Let alone hyping you up like that. Like, okay, if you look at this picture right here, this dude behind him, that's his hype man.
Oh.
He called a spotter. That's how you talk them through a workout. And I just seen all the women like, yes, I can't wait to hype me a man up like this. I can't wait. And it just showing me the understanding level that y'all have about men. Y'all think that this is cute. Y'all think that this is relationship goals.
Who is y'all?
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something.
Sorry, let me get y'all opinion. How do y'all feel about this?
Look,
You know how where your kids at, Cardi B?
Yeah,
where your kids at? Here you out hyping this man up. I actually agree with you, Tukay. You hyping this man up. How about you go be with Blossom? You know, remember that the baby that you dropped out your cooch? What was it, 5 minutes ago? How about that? How about that? How about you go kick it with Blossom?
Her own kids practice.
How about she goes? How about she didn't do none of this to the dude she was married to?
Come on, bro. See,
how about okay, yeah, he's a cheater or whatever else, but so is this dude. I'd rather the man who actually put a ring on my finger to marry me sit there and hype up. My kids is with him, and he's cheating. If we're gonna stay with cheaters, okay, then some dude that has absolutely no attachment to me. We have no children. We don't live in a house together, and he hasn't asked to marry me. All he's doing is sleeping with me.
It's
what
programming.
benefit is this?
It's all programming, Mika. They are purposely showing this crap because she didn't do this with her husband. She doing this for the dude, for this guy, all of this to program these women to think that's what you're supposed to do. And this couple, they are the new Travis and Taylor Swift. Every time I turn around, I see these two, and I before the show, Tukay, I said he done got her a castle out in Europe, and they showing that. They get on my nerves.
Look, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. This shows me femininity. I want my woman to hype me up. What's wrong with that? I know Cardi B ain't.
Wrong with
I know
working out
Cardi
with
B.
your man.
Golly, Kelly, can I get a sentence in?
You've been cutting me off all
Can I
morning.
get a sentence in?
You've been cutting me off all morning.
I got what her kids is. So come on, Kelly. Let me get. I was patient with you. All right, thank you. So, like I was saying, I got to start over. So, like, yeah. This shows me femininity. I want my woman to hype me up when I'm lifting weights and glistening and all that stuff in the gym. Yeah, of course I want that. I know Cardi B ain't taking care of her kids. We all know that. That's water is wet. Yeah, we already know that. But as a man, why I can't have a woman hype me up in the gym? Like, damn, like what's the problem with that? Like me personally, if a woman is wanting to do that, man, she halfway in the door. Like so Tukay, like what's the problem with that?
It's a lot of problem with this black. When you a warrior, bro, this is when you training, this shit is sacred ground. If you a man.
Oh my God, man.
No, bro, listen, there's a reason that the cheerleaders show up to the fucking game and not to the practice. Okay, when it's time to work, it's time to work. I don't need a woman there to be like, oh, let's do it. No, baby. You show up to the game, you look pretty, and you cheer. But right here, this is grind time. And back to what Kelly was saying. I don't know why. Maybe Mika and Kelly can help because they are wives. Can y'all help us understand why husbands get less?
That's what I'm saying. I can't cash a kid root me on, nigga.
I don't. I mean, in this new woman generation thing, I don't know, right? Maybe because of sometimes I would say feminism, but at this point, chicks is just doing whatever they want to do because, I said this, in a clip I did. Men in America allow this stuff. You allow it, okay? Just like I can tell a woman, a man is only going to do what you allow. The same thing I can tell a man. She's only going to do what's allowed. You are allowing her to do this, that, and the third, move like this, that, and the third. She will. And
okay.
When she's allowed to, the respect level goes down because you don't stand on nothing.
Yeah, but I always ask this question, like Mika, there is nothing that prevents the allowance of it. Okay,
I think you're miserable.
I can stand on my word, right? But if she do what I tell her not to do, then what?
Again, that should be established from the beginning. Even when she's not your wife, she should know what your boundaries are. And when she crosses them, she has to pay for it. Ain't none of this, okay, what? No.
Listen,
I'm sorry. On business, you got to go because, and people, want to give grace and all this other stuff, but this is how you teach people how to treat you. You literally teach people how to treat you. And if you allow something once, fool me once, it's on me. Fool me can't get food again. If it's happening, it keeps happening, it's because of you.
Y'all talking in fallacies. I'm gonna just be honest.
I'm talking facts.
No, you talking facts, but there's no way to go about it legally.
Yes,
now,
it is.
We need to restore the balance, bro. I'm sorry about this statement, Kels, but we got to start beating bitches again, y'all. It has gone too far.
Wait a minute.
It has gone too far. I can say, Kels, when I get home, you need to have my plate ready. If when I come home and my plate ain't ready, then what?
Damn, you want to be ass over a hot stove?
There's no action that I can do legally behind my words.
Yes, you can.
What is it? Leave?
Yes, you
Please
can.
don't say leave.
No.
Hold on. What you mean exactly, C-Mac, mommy? You know my mama is
want to beat those some black eyed and cornbread?
Mama, I'm sorry, mama. Bring back beatings. We got to do it.
But you didn't.
No, she with you. She said exactly. I don't know what mommy talking about.
You know my family's history. Like you know that all the women are housewives, and none of them got beat. Okay,
right.
and that's because they knew up front what the business was. One, you have to tell people what it is up front. Two, and when you're talking about legally, you're signing a legal contract to get married. Why haven't you signed anything else that says, because there's all type of clauses that these women and men have in these relationships. Oh, if he cheats or if put those in agreements. There's nothing you can legal Zoom any damn thing else. Put that in an agreement.
See, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. Leaving isn't the answer.
I didn't say leave.
What put it legally.
I know. I got a solution.
I can't sue my wife.
No, I have a solution.
I didn't say sue her.
I have a solution. You can withhold that money that you give your wife.
That's what I just said. Put it in the contract.
You can say, "Oh, okay. Oh, this is the contract." We're not going to use us. But if a man is the one that's providing, he can easily say, "Okay, well, my meal hasn't been cooked. This house is a mess. Okay, how about you figure it out, and and the purse strings are going to be cut off."
So now I'm docking your pay, your wife pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
Because when you go for child support and all that, what do they? When was the last time you paid? When was this? When was that? They calculate all that. Okay, when the last time you fixed a sandwich? When was the last time when I was out there mowing the lawn, you bought some lemonade?
So hear this out. So hear this out.
Oh yeah, because I'm not
gonna
cutting
tell you why this don't work, because
my Capri Sun.
Women have the backing of the legal system. So check this out right here, Kels. That don't work because you say, oh, you won't give me my wife pay. Bet. Divorce. Now for to get half of your shit, and I ain't got to do nothing.
That's
so now she's making more.
That's because you didn't back it up. Look, let's be clear. Now you know I love the men, but a lot of y'all don't do your due diligence, meaning you don't sit and actually look at the woman you're dealing with, right? And let's say you okay with, maybe she is a chameleon or switcheroo. Okay. But you have to have your paperwork in order. A lot of y'all will just say, oh, well, I like this girl. She got the fatty or she pretty, da, 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 da. And then you go off and marry her. And then everything else is left to the state. Right? It's just like if you got a house, Tukay, and you don't put it in a will and you die, now every one of your family members can come up and contest to it and all this other stuff because you didn't put it in the paperwork. The marriage is the same. Put it in the paperwork.
But Mika, the problem is women don't look at the marriage like a business. And the first time you go to your wife or your fiance at the time and start talking about shits like prenup, that's a strange conversation. That's
you don't even gotta do you don't have to do prenup. You don't have to do prenup. You don't even have to call it that. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if she know that she gonna get, and that's the other thing, because men and women.
You talking about reasonable women though.
But you gotta not be afraid to lose that shit.
It's not being afraid. It's just like, some shit, dog, you kind of just don't want to send it. Like you sit in doo-doo. Like there's a reason why niggas just don't ask for the blood test. Because it's gonna cause more friction than anything. It's a reason why niggas don't ask for prenups.
Those are weak men. Those are weak men.
They're
weak. And the reason why I say that they're weak men, because if you were a man and you worked your behind off and you built this empire, you're an entrepreneur, whatever or just have more money than this broad. You have more money than this broad. If you're so scared to tell this woman she needs to sign this paper or you're not going to get married, that's weak. Because if it was me, I'd have no problem with it, because you're not going to not going to take what I worked my behind off. You're not going to do it. And I think most men that have been able to acquire that type of wealth, I think that they are not weak, and I think they're okay with it.
Okay.
Yes, we do, Black. That's why most women won't say anything. They'll just let you do it. Bro, they know the law. They know the law.
Y'all pissing me off.
No, that's the name of the show, right?
Asking for shit like a prenup is down there to a woman. You putting an expiration date on the marriage.
Why would you be scared to ask a broke bitch to sign something and you are the asset when you have the money?
Like you can't find rich. I debunked that already.
I thought I was talking.
Okay. I wait. Please, come on. Y'all ain't let Kamal get his 2 cents in.
So, no, but you steady cutting me off, though.
All right, go ahead.
You steady cutting me off, though. Like I said, and now you almost made me lose my train of thought. Like I was saying, okay, if you are the man, you're the NBA player, you're the executive, you're the lawyer, and this broad is not nowhere near your level. Why on earth would you be scared to have this broad sign something when you can get 20 more of hers? That don't make a bit of sense.
What me and 2K are saying is it's irrelevant if she has money or not. Majority is going to act the same. If a man comes to a woman, regardless of if she has money or not, most women are going to react the same about a prenup.
And that woman does not want to.
Hold on, Kelly.
How you going to tell
Kelly,
a woman how reliable?
Let him get his shit out, Kel.
Golly. Because she know I'm telling the truth.
No, you're not.
She know I'm telling the truth.
How you going to tell a woman what a woman
thinks? It's been time and time again that we talked on this show about celebrity women having taking all this shit from men and stuff. It doesn't matter. The average man, you quote unquote want to say we're scared or not real men for not asking no prenups because it's going to cause friction. Just like what Tukay is saying, it's going to be a high risk of us losing her already. We already going into marriage with a lose-lose situation.
Then get another bitch.
They don't know.
Get another bitch.
See,
it's not. It's no.
That's
It's
the
not.
problem right there.
It's that.
That's
simple.
not the problem.
Get another bitch.
Because if that broad won't sign that, if she won't sign it, then clearly she want to take all your money.
Hell, that's not necessarily it. First of all, it's hard as hell to find a girl that you like. So you'd have felt one that you want to fucking marry. Then the minute I bring you this right here, I'm sabotaging the relationship with these questions. You saying it's so easy as go find another bitch as if it's easy.
It is easy if you have the money.
No, it's not. Y'all can't say that. Y'all women, y'all got niggas y'all every day.
No, it's easy.
Y'all sound really crazy. How hard is it?
They're lining up.
Hold on, Mika. If this dude has money, it'll be very easy for him to find another broad. Are you kidding me? That guy is the high value man.
As men, we struggle with women. Most men struggle getting women.
Most women date up. Y'all are the broke bitches that y'all don't want. So by your perspective, every dude who get married should get a prenup. It don't make sense. It's an uncomfortable conversation, and y'all won't admit that if we had this conversation, we are ruining the relationship.
Because I'm telling you, you're not ruining. You are. Because I come from that. I told you I don't have no women in my family that work.
Mika, we talking about
talk about majority.
We talking about
it's because it was established at the beginning. When you establish something at the beginning, somebody can't, because you can't give somebody a prenup right before y'all want to get married, because now I feel like I'm under duress. Establish this nonsense in the beginning, and I'm telling you, you won't have this issue. And and Passport Bro ain't gonna help you, because y'all know I'm Cuban. It happens over there too.
Okay, so you telling me
being Passport ain't gonna help you, because let me tell you, everybody understands the game, whether you're in Cuba or whether you're here. Women understand what men won't do, won't say, not willing to do, and they play on that. If you think she don't know the business of marriage,
of course
you know. Hold on, Tukay, because let's get back to reality. Most men they are dating people on their level, because you said most women date up. That's simply not true. People date in proximity. That means most people meet their mate in college. That's a fact. You could look that up. So most women don't have the luxury of actually doing hypergamy. Most people, hold on. Most people date in proximity. But moving aside from that, let's go with the broads that do practice hypergamy. If you leave $1 million on the street, how long you think that $1 million is going to sit there? It's not going to sit there that long. That high value man, if he gives this woman a prenup, and he's the catch, he can just it's a million other women. We saw earlier this week with Chad Ochocinco. This dude is able to get women to marry him. He cheats and blah, 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 because he's a high value. He has a lot of money. So these dudes that have money, they can easily get another chick and find a chick that's willing to sign that agreement. But somehow y'all want to put this on women, and it's not the women. Because if you are a man and you want a lot and you have a lot of money and you don't protect your assets because of a woman, that's on you.
I just want to say this last thing, Tukay. All right. If you are the man, you are the man.
Right.
Okay? Yeah, you might.
Hold on.
Because you talking to a woman that had a daddy and a granddaddy and a great grandfather and so on and so on. And when I tell you that they stood on business, My mother would never. Okay, my grandmother would never, and that's because they knew that the BS wasn't going to be had. So at the end of the day, I think men in our generation gotta start standing on.
Your mama, your grandma, they come from the era.
I don't come from that era.
of getting beat.
My mother has never got beat in her life.
I think y'all on some boxing.
My mother has never gotten beat in her life. I will call my mother right now. She will tell you. It's all about.
Hey, Kels, read that super chat, Kels.
Bye, Kelly.
Yeah, get out of here.
Take you a break. Take a lap. Take a motherfucking lap. Because everything she's saying is some bullshit.
Hell yeah. Thank God.
If
Jesus.
It would have been done.
Jesus.
If it was that easy, all this shit would have been done, man. Kels out here talking bullshit, dog, and she know it.
Y'all think it's easy for men to get women like the average man? Look, y'all see how look, I don't want to put my business out there, but I'm just saying, like, women are very difficult to deal with.
They are.
I mean, everybody up here married. I'm not married. I got experience.
They are.
I don't understand. When is this talk supposed to be had? But is it the first date? Is it after I get engaged? Is it 2 days before the wedding? Like, realistically speaking, man, a nigga could come up to you and be like, well, hey, I need you to sign these prenup papers without you feeling or looking at him in a different light.
Just you're not gonna on a first date talk about all that, but you're going to when you get to a certain point, when you start feeling a certain way as a man about a woman. Okay, y'all need to start having uncomfortable conversations because most marriages end with the financial stuff because they never talked about it. They never talked about who was gonna be doing this because y'all know y'all like to have partners now. So you never talked about, well, who's gonna be leading in this and who's gonna do this bill and da 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 da. So now you guys are fussing about that when you really could have just had that conversation in the beginning. And again, you can't be afraid to lose somebody. Most people are upset about the time. Right? But your time is your commodity. So make better use of your time and start saying things up front.
Listen, I really like believe like when grandma and them back in the day used to get divorced, they really had a reason to ask for half of the shit.
Something serious that happened. Like she done killed a brother or something.
Yeah, they really had a reason because they really couldn't work. Granddaddy really didn't love them. I don't care what nobody say. If your granddaddy had
alimony.
17 children staying in a 2-shotgun house, he didn't love your grandma. So when it was time to split, we need half of your check, nigga. I got it back then. But we be full and present in these relationships, doing and paying the most. You leave me and still want to maintain the lifestyle as if I was there.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with somebody trying to get something out of now let's say if the person didn't work, right? Let's say you were like, hey, you stay at home and I do this and that, and then let's say y'all break up, right? I do think you should give a time frame for a person to actually get back out there in the workforce and da 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 da.
And
but
that's
I do not think
alimony works.
I don't do that. I don't do that forever alimony stuff. I don't know, ma'am.
But that's how alimony works.
In some states, Kelly, because in California, it's forever.
And I know you have to be married for a certain amount of time. But I'll give you an example. I had a friend. Her mom got a lot of alimony, and she got alimony for years. But she was married to her father. She was, married to my friend's father probably for 20 years. The woman never worked when she was while she was married. They got a divorce. She wouldn't have been able to go into the workforce like that because she hadn't worked in 20 years. And I will say this, dude ended up not even paying the alimony. Like he didn't pay it for a very long time. It's a little backstory with that. But in that case, I can kind of understand it because you was fine with the woman, not working. He ended the marriage. So what is she going to do?
I still think there should be a time limit on that though.
Like, I do too.
Usually there is a time, and I do.
You can't
usually
be out here for years now dragging it because me personally, I think 2 years 2 years is enough time to actually start getting acclimated. Like you're trying to find.
That's crazy, Mika.
What?
That's
Huh?
insane.
Please.
2 years and you ain't worked in 20 effing years.
Yeah.
And you're
So what are you doing?
22
What are
years
you doing in
old?
24 months? What are you
That's
doing?
crazy.
What are you
That's
doing
crazy.
though? What are you doing?
What are you doing? How is somebody you haven't worked in 20 years? Okay, so meaning whatever you did before when you graduated college or whatever, you've been out of that industry
McDonald's
for
is
20
always hiring.
years. That's insane.
McDonald's is always
that's
hiring.
insane. Oh, we can
No, like you were telling us
That's
the other day, Kelly. Shut up. Go.
You gotta get out here and
figure
work.
it out.
You gotta get out here and work.
You wouldn't be able to do it. You wouldn't be able to do it. Like
You
that.
gotta
That's
get
all
out
I'm
here
saying.
and work. You gotta get out.
I can see a person. You saying, okay, you got to go out and you got to work, whatever, blah, blah. But 2 years and you haven't worked for 20
Yeah,
effing years.
just like you told us last
That's
week.
insane.
Shut up and go figure it out.
Walmart is always
the
hiring.
husband
Yep.
and the husband ended the marriage, and basically that's insane. That's
Okay,
Kelly,
but nine
if
times
you
out
ain't
of
worked
wait,
in 20
nine times
years,
out
your
of
legs
10,
should be fresh.
but 9 times out of 10, Kelly, the woman ends the marriage. So now it's even more so. You ending the marriage knowing that you
the woman
ain't done it
wouldn't
in
end
20 years.
the woman wouldn't end the marriage if she.
They do
This is
it all
what
the time.
this is, and in that case, nah, I don't know.
Kelly,
20 years.
you told us
You ain't
last week.
you haven't worked in 20 years, and your husband ends the marriage, and you got 2 years to get a job,
Kelly,
and
you
that's
told
the
us
same.
last week to
Yeah,
shut up and go
You
figure
can do
it
it in
out.
2 years.
You told us
do
to
it
go
in 2
figure it out.
years.
You can't figure. That's impossible.
She
That's
been on
impossible.
vacation for 20 years. She should have thought of something.